Cosmology. Egypt. Something once crawled out of the Nile, out of Eden. From the black slime. Strange creature. The mother of Re is regularly depicted as a cow in iconography. Vapors rise from the earth, but it becomes drier. 3500 BC. First was Tarzan. He only had one eye trained. He defeated the talking tiger Shere Khan with a rusty dagger. But after that, he became old and wise. He invented language and knowledge. Then he was God and Lord Ammonius Reed, the first patriarch, the falcon. He had a rich pond. Everything was washed up there. He subjugated the animals and named them. God had a wife, Hathor the cow, the Red Queen, the patriarch's only wife. He had many idiots and cyclopes. And then God had twins, Adam and Eve, revered in Egyptian mythology as Osiris and Isis. The Lord and Patriarch did not yet have a name for these creatures, but a wild boy for farming. He gave the man an assistant. Under one rule, only God can spread his seed, and one should only snack on the Lord's phallus. He called Osiris, but his name was Adam. Adam gave the goddess Isis the name Eve. And the serpent was more cunning than any beast. Eve became pregnant. God was angry and jealous and spit out bile, and banished Adam and Eve from paradise to the fields 40 kilometers to the north, paying tribute, of course. Instead of hoping for God's mercy and wandering around like the other savages, Adam took matters into his own hands and trusted his knowledge and skills in farming. Eve gave birth to Cain. Eve went to the Lord to ask for some food and was blessed by the Lord. With God's help, Eva gave birth to Abel and his twin sister Ava. Adam invented cuneiform writing. One day on the way back after Abel and Cain paid tribute to the Lord, when the firstborn bastard Cain heard that he would one day be the keeper of his master and brother Abel, he killed him. When Adam and Eve found out about this, they sent him and his sister on a journey. To defend himself, Adam gave Cain the sacred mace head. Cain and Ava settled in Mecca. Cain founded a city and then another. When the Lord heard that Abel was dead, he punished Adam with the whip and took Eve to himself. Adam died. The Lord had a substitute son, but at some point the son rebelled. So Lower and Upper Egypt was divided into the white and red crowns. The red crown of the ruler and God, the falcon Re, and the servant's white crown. Excerpt from Osiris Saga. Osiris carried a scourge and crook as a royal emblem because he was a friend of the shepherds and flocks. Seth was a friend of the hunters. A dispute arose between the two over the fertile land. They grabbed their swords to settle their dispute. Osiris was defeated by Seth, who killed him and hid him in a thicket. The myth of Osiris and Seth is also told in modified forms. Other texts describe Osiris as arousing the envy of Seth because he taught the Egyptians how to grow crops, gave them laws, taught them pastoralism, and regulated the worship of the gods. This caused the hearts of the inhabitants of both lands to turn to Osiris. He also instructed them in the arts and gave them a peaceful existence. When Osiris did not return home, his sister and wife Isis went on a search, together with her sister Nephthys. After Seth killed her husband and brother Osiris, he threw Isis into prison. Before that, however, Isis had collected the dismembered body parts of Osiris. She was impregnated by the dead Osiris, and their child was Horus. The core of the Osiris myth is that Seth tried with all means at his disposal to defeat Horus in order to become sole ruler. Seth and Horus slept together in the same bed for the sake of peace, but Seth wanted to defile Horus through homosexual intercourse and thereby dishonor him. At that time, the shame lay entirely on the side of the inferior, while the superior thereby expressed the triumph of the victor over the vanquished. However, Horus caught the seed of Seth and brought it to his mother Isis. She then cut off his hand and threw it into the water. But then Isis caused Horus' hand to grow back again and then used the seed of Horus for a ruse by pouring it on the lettuces that Seth ate every day. As a result, Seth was now unknowingly impregnated. When Seth wanted to show the gods that Horus was the inferior and told them about his deed, they screamed and spit on Horus. However, he laughed at them all and declared that Seth was the inferior. He then asked the seed of Seth to come out to Horus. However, when nothing happened, he asked the seed of Horus to come out to Seth. The Horus seed there answered him, emerged from Seth's head, and became a golden sun disk. The humiliated Seth then wanted to take possession of the disk, but he grabbed it and placed it on Horus' head as a crown. At the end of the legend, Isis took Seth to heaven as a consolation for the battle won by Horus, where he kept Horus' enemies away with his fearsome voice. Excerpt from Titanomachy. Heaven itself and ruler of the cosmos, the husband of Eve, the goddess and personification of the earth, later acquired their enmity because he brought some of their common children to the crazy ones, 100-armed and 50-headed beings, and the Cyclopes into Tartarus, the earth, pushed back, which caused her great pain. So Eve created a large sickle and called together the twin gods, a family of 6 sons and 6 daughters that she had from the Lord, to persuade her children to kill their father. The youngest agreed. So she gave him the sickle and he lay in ambush. When the Lord met with Eve, the youngest attacked and cut off his genitals with the sickle. He now ascended the throne and became the Lord, but he also imprisoned the crazy people, the Cyclopes and the newborn giants in Tartarus. Eve, angry that he imprisoned his brothers as well as his father, prophesied to him that his own children would rebel against his rule as he had rebelled against his father's. Fearing the prophesied attack of his children, he devoured them all. And then Cain came back. Next episode, the Master's fanatics are put on a boat and abandoned at sea. The Flood of Meaning. They land in Mesopotamia and found the Anunnaki cult. Moses' journey begins.